Do you ever feel like your labor cost is out of control? Minimum wages are going up all across the country. Managers don't pay attention. Heck, we walk into a building, there's no customers, and they have a full team, and we think, man, what are you doing? Every new manager makes the same dumbass mistake that every other manager made, and every time they make that labor mistake, it costs you what? Money. Whose money? Your money. How would you like to put 7 simple steps in place to help those rookies and those who have been with you a long time make the simple decisions that can save you thousands? I'm going to share that with you in about 2 seconds. Hello, this is Dave Scott Peters with restaurantexpert.com, and I got to tell you, I feel your pain. I've been that operations manager that walks into each one of my locations and look around and go, why are there so many people working right now? There's no sales. To find a manager sitting in the office doing office work, right? Hell, number one, you should be doing that on the floor. We're in business right now. But the other is, sometimes they're just oblivious. They're just shooting the shit with everybody. I mean, they don't care. Well, problem is they don't know. See, what's common sense to me ain't so common to somebody else. So I'm going to give you 7 simple steps that you can teach your management team that you might go, that's common sense, David. But why doesn't everybody do it? Because common sense ain't so common. Number 1, check that your staff is not clocking in too soon. So that means you got to go to that expensive cash register called the point of sale system, log in and see who's punched in. If they punched in too early, you need to sit them down, punch them out, and wait. Remember, you can't reduce that time. Once they've worked, you owe them. Number 2, you need to check that people are not riding the clock. Hey, I want to go home. Okay, cut you. Start working on your side work. Next thing you know, the person who's been badgering you to be cut is now slow as molasses. Why? Because they changed from work to milking, right? They're milking the clock. So you need to make sure your managers know how long side works take, and for each station, whether it's their department or not, so they can follow up and say, hey, move, you got to get out. Now, next, number 3, audit your timekeeping and verify that your staff's not clocking in the wrong job codes. So we often have people work multiple positions. Server, trainer, get 2 different wages. Dishwasher, prep cook, 2 different wages. Server, bartender, 2 different wages. Well, if I'm smart, meaning I'm a little bit crooked, as an employee, I could punch in at my higher wage even though I'm not scheduled for that position today. And if a manager doesn't catch it, by the time it gets to payroll, hell, I'm getting paid extra money. So each manager has to pay attention to who's coming in, not only at what time, but what position. And when I nail Sally the server for punching in as a trainer and she has nobody to train today, she goes, oops, sorry. I go, hey man, I got you. Now she does it again, she's fired. Because guess what? Number 1, 2, and 3, what are they? Clocking in too soon, riding the clock, punching in under the wrong job code. That's theft. Do you understand it's easier for me to steal from you at the time clock than anywhere else in the business, even cash in the till? Number 4, audit your sales every half hour. Go to that POS system, see where your sales levels are, and when you see that it goes from $500 the last half hour to $25, we should have been starting to cut people earlier. Don't wait till the restaurant looks empty, because often it's a Friday night and you're a dinner house and all of a sudden by 10 o'clock you got a restaurant full and you haven't cut anybody. But over the last hour they've ordered cappuccinos and desserts. I should be able to go, hey, you 2 start working on your side work. You 2 watch their stations, make sure the guest is taken care of. Get ahead of the visual cue and look at the dollar cue. Make sure we're scheduling according to sales. So number 5 is, if I've got a busy day, make sure I'm putting the people on there. Let's look at where we're using our people. Avoid overtime at all costs, because what is it, owners? Time and a half? Heck, in California, you reach certain rules, it's double time. Well, I'll tell you right now, that's wasting money. You should have 0 overtime. If you have a problem with overtime, you're short-staffed. And I get it. In today's marketplace with 4% unemployment, with wages going up, all these things, it's tough to find people. But the fact of the matter is, when you pay time and a half, that half time is yours if you had run your business properly. So do everything you can to make sure it's there. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times where I'll have overtime. Let's say I have a festival come in town, and every year our sales go through the roof. I'm not going to bring on new people for 1 week. And oh, by the way, that overtime won't affect me because the percentage in labor costs will still be low. And last but not least, make selection and training a priority. All too often, it's the most overlooked cost savings in your business to actually have a training program in place that your employees know what the job is, how to do it, how well it should be done, by when, and management knows too that we're consistent in managing our employees. Those are our 7 steps, what I call 7 must-dos reducing labor cost. Teach those to your management team. Don't think that it's common sense, because it ain't so common, and you'll be on your way to making more money. This is David Scott Peters. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure and subscribe now to my YouTube channel. But before you go, download my free report. You'll find the link below in the description section. And be sure not to miss these other videos with expert tips to help you run your restaurant.